Let's rise, say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Okay, first item on the agenda is approval of the last meeting's minutes.
Madam Chairman, I move to approve as presented.
Motion by Commissioner Pelton,
Second.
second by Commissioner Olson. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion approved. Approval of agenda. Anything to add, Commissioner Heiser?
No.
Commissioner Olson?
Yes, Peggy Hendricks with the Recorder's Office asked to approach the board. She requested if she could do it earlier in the meeting, it would be better for her.
Okay. Commissioner Pelton?
No.
Commissioner Kleeman?
No.
And I have nothing. Okay. Entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
So move.
Moved by Commissioner Kleeman. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Olson. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion approved. Engineer reports. Get started. Carl?
Good morning.
Morning, Carl.
I have just a little update for you today and one thing to discuss. We'll start off the 86th Avenue. Not a lot's changed on that one. 92nd Avenue Southwest, that's pretty much complete. We have the permit, working on easements, at which point we'll be able to put that one out for bid. 100th Avenue Northwest, I keep forgetting to edit that. Plans are completed for that project. Permit's been secured. We're working on the final easements. We do have that one that remains to be completed, which I handed out for you guys to look at. The attorney for the family has proposed a few additions to the easement document, which are highlighted in yellow on that document. I'd like to ask if those are acceptable to the commission to put in the easement. I did reach out to Mr. Sundin last week about that. It's also worth noting too that this was negotiated on a previously done project with a different landowner, same attorney for the family. It's been recorded with that language in there and accepted at that point. So I just want to note that as well. The only concern, I don't know if Ross is on, probably not. I did send him an email asking if he'd be here on Teams, but did not get a response. That first paragraph, part of the second part, shall maintain and repair the easement area during the term of the easement. Said he had a little bit of concern with that. He did suggest maybe adding part of the second part, if required by law, shall maintain and repair. Are there any questions on that?
So Carl, you said this is same language has been used in the past on a project, and and Ross just excuse me, had a concern about the language.
Yeah, because it's not really clear. I don't think what maintain and repair the easement area during the term of the easement exactly means. That may be what you guys are already doing because you are maintaining and repairing the roadway corridor. But it's just kind of vague language and on what they actually mean by that.
I guess if you would have the conversation, what Sadine suggests, I don't know if it's a big change or not, but
I think it's acceptable. I think it would be. I would propose that to them.
I think if Ross suggests that, I think maybe we should doesn't sound to me like it's just kind of a language, not anything, probably a deal breaker, but just so we understand what they're actually meaning by it.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, is that the direction, or does
Yeah.
that require a motion, or?
I don't know if it's a motion.
I think it'd be direction.
Direction.
Okay. All right, then we'll go forward with that then. So once we have that completed, that one will go out to bid. One of the upcoming meetings here, we'll get it advertised, once we have that signature. 12th Street, we're working on the permit for that project, working through some cultural sites on that for avoidance, those should be avoidable. So we'll be looking at easements on that project as well. And actually, it's worth noting too, that same landowner has, an easement on that project as well, so we'll acquire that one at the same time, so we are negotiating for that project as well. 16th Street, we have grading design pretty much final on that one. Working on plan sheets. We are also working on permitting on that one. There's a pretty significant cultural site, so that's going to require some negotiation with SHPO. 2025 projects, we have all the surveys completed. Working on the grading design. We're at a preliminary plan stage that we should begin review here soon, and we're putting together our permit applications for those. 2026 project. Anticipate starting our design work early in the summer for those projects. So, any other questions?
You know, Carl, if the board agrees, I think if you could get this couple words changed, and if it's satisfactory, I think to expedite things, we probably could actually bid it rather than wait 2 more weeks, then we got another 2 weeks, and I think if they would agree to that, I think Carl should just go ahead and get the project advertised, because apparently this is the last stepping stone to get it to bid, so.
Okay, I'll just get that confirmation from our attorney that that's acceptable.
And let Craig and I know, and I think just go ahead and get it advertised so we can, spring's on the way.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Yep, sounds good. Thank you, Carl.
Thank
Darren?
Morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
I've got some updates as well. I believe that he's referring to was a stern easement that I was a part of. I can send you a copy what Ross already approved. I don't know what would have differed. Carl just asked me about it this morning, but I can shoot that over to Carl too, and it was acceptable then. I wouldn't see why it wouldn't be now. But
Okay.
okay, so on our stuff here, so 2nd Street and 84th, we had that final pay request last commission meeting, so that project is officially closed out and out the books. We'll move to 2024s, so 117th is also closed out and officially out the books. 14th, that's the Schwartz project that we have. We still haven't heard from them on when they anticipate starting, but as soon as we do, we'll coordinate with the road department. I don't know if they want to do like another, just a quick pre-con before they get out there and then go again, but I'll let you guys know what the request is once I hear from that. 119th, we have postponed the bid opening until next commission meeting on, I believe it's a Thursday now, correct? So Thursday, February 20th at 10 a.m. Mountain. I don't know, any questions on that at all? Al, did you?
My question is did you actually go back and redo the spec for laying the pipe?
Yes, that detail
Okay,
that you gave us, yep.
And maybe just to kind of clue the rest of the board in is kind of what we talked about, the spec that we were using in some of these projects with the DOT spec. I think there's a much more reasonable backfill we can use. And these questions come from contractors saying, why are we doing this? Why are we doing that? So I had one of them work up a little scenario, like the Common X and put it on the virgin soil. About a 60-foot pipe would be 6,300 and a 4 foot of fill. And if you put some bedding under the pipe, about 10 grand. But if you go with that DOT spec, about $38,000. So I think on county road, we should be using some more county road specs. And so that's kind of why the change was in, I had kind of looked at your set of plans. There's an awful lot of straw wattles, they're very costly. And I'm kind of at some point, are we doing what we need to do? Or are we going a little overboard?
Well, as far as erosion control can go, a lot of that stuff is kind of laid down in the field, but if we put the quantity in there, then we get, the appropriate bid price. Don't necessarily use all that. And it depends on what you're getting with out of the state as far as if they come out and do inspection. I mean, they can be pretty particular about erosion control. We had a project last year, Craig, I think you can attest to that, where we had some erosion control going on 79th that we had to overkill that stuff. So we can do whatever you guys like.
It's not that I want overkill, I see, you know, there's a project, you know, you got 3.5 miles.
Sure.
James has got a project I'm gonna bring up here, we got 10 miles of straw wattles. I mean,
Sure.
at the end of the day, somebody's gotta pick them up. And I get that we gotta be cautious for the erosion, but on the other hand too, I think some of it's a little overboard.
And yep, so a lot of that stuff has to do with landowners as they get pretty particular as we kind of noticed or experienced last year. I guess there's a balance if you want us to change something.
Well, I want to make sure we're covered, but I don't want to go overboard.
Sure, and it's always a balancing point. But,
Thank you.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Anything more on 119th? For 99th, so the 404 permit application, if you recall on that, there was cultural issues that we've been trying to work through. They've got, SHPO has some new people in the office to where we were trying to get approval before submission of the 404 and letting us fill over the top of it, which is the same problems that the state experienced. So we were trying to tackle that head on. However, they came back now and said that they will not formally agree until we make a formal 404 submission. So that's the way we went. And Wade Burns is working with that too and trying to get that all smoothed out. So I did give Terry a set of plans to look at. Al, if you wanted to look at them as well, I can get you another set too if you wanted something
I'd like a set of plans for all the projects that we're doing so I
Sure.
can review them at a time.
You bet. So that's where we're at for that, but Terry's got them. I gave them this morning. Any questions on 99th? So I brought, not hearing any, so I'll move on. So for 12th Street Southwest, as you recall, there was a landowner dispute on that project. I just brought it up here because now that it seems that that matter may have been resolved, is that something we want to revisit and talk with that landowner again? Or I know you guys had some discussions or in the process of working through right-of-way acquisition and what all that requires. If you want to wait until that's all determined or what, but I figured it should bring it to your attention again now. So I don't know if we have to discuss anything at this point in time. But.
I think we've kind of, Craig and I, we met and we're thinking to put kind of a little committee together with a couple of engineers, some landowners, somebody that's strictly Lance Farm, some people are strictly ranch. Sit down, across from each other and see if we can get their concerns and maybe we can work through some of this. I know there's been the talk about a CMC route or dedicated easement. I think there's ways around that, and so rather than elaborate much more, I think we just need to get this meeting done and bring it to the board with some recommendations of how we can hopefully proceed and get some more easements, you know.
Sure. Yeah, we're open to whatever is needed. Okay, so that's all that we have for our 2024 project. So I'll move on to Manning. So we did have a meeting with Manning Waterworks, and this was a while ago. It was on the 7th. But we submitted formal plans to Southwest, and they are actually meeting on those tomorrow to get formal review comments back. And once we hear on that, then we'll see what's going on with the water. So not much has happened on that other than Southwest activity. Neumatic, I just have it on there as well. I think we talked about this prior, but we've got our grading plans are done, and that's when they came back and wanted to add water now. Southwest won't address it until Manning is determined, so it's basically tabled. I just have it on there as a placeholder. I don't know if you want to discuss anything about that or not, but. For 2025 projects for 7th Street Southwest, we're moving forward with preliminary design. We should have a preliminary set of plans for the county at the next commission meeting. We're still waiting for the cultural resources report, but we did get the shape files, which allows us to do design. So we're moving forward with preliminary design, and once we get the actual cultural report, we can formally submit to the Corps for the 404. That update is on both 7th Street projects, so I won't read the same paragraph for you again. For 3rd Street, again, we're moving forward with design on that too, with preliminary design, and we don't have the formal reports. However, we have shape files, and we also have a preliminary design, which I dropped off at Terry this morning too. So, questions on those?
Nope, Are you done with your report?
I believe I am.
I've got some questions on billing here. I've been
Sure.
doing lots of thinking about it, and it's not an easy conversation. I look at other engineers that work for the county, and some of your billing is just, I really struggle. I feel that as a business, you should have overhead. Looks to me like we're paying a lot of overhead. We got vehicle mileage, travel, per diem, company mileage, off-road survey, trailer, survey equipment, GPS equipment, and it goes on. But the one that really I have a hard time with is we got charged 69 cents for a postage stamp. I mean,
Sure.
you got overhead. I mean, some of this stuff should be overhead. It seems like we get charged for everything. I look at some of our other bills, they're not there, so you know what? We're elected up here to be good stewards of the county, and I really think that some adjustments need to be made to some of these bills.
We can get together and talk about
And
it.
I mean, I hated to bring it up now, but it's been working on me for a while, and when I see them, I've been in this business a long time, and I'm not used to seeing bills like this here, in travel. And another thing too, traveling to come to sit at one of our county board meetings, I find that unacceptable. If you want to work for the county, I think that should be on your dime.
And I
So-
haven't been charging.
Well, I'm just saying that, and one other thing before I'm done here, we get a bill for $30,000, there's no date of service, there's nothing what we did, we don't have any idea what you're doing, so I think we need a date and what you're actually doing to charge us these hours.
Yeah, and we had that when we talked about that
But
meeting.
the latest bill that come here, it's still not on there, so.
Yeah.
I think we need to be, we want to know what you're doing and when you're doing it, so.
Sure.
I mean, I don't want to be the bad guy, but it's been working on me and I got it off my chest now, so we'll move on.
Very good.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
So, Darren and other engineers, a lot of times, what I believe is there's a percentage of a project that it costs that you fall within a certain percentage range, and
Sure.
that's something we can, definitely look at, but, whether it's 10% or 12% or 15, and it's hard to, I know something that was suggested was, know what it's going to cost, but I believe that would be pretty hard to do. We had that conversation a few years back that there are always things that come up that are not planned, whether it's SHPO or any type of core, so my understanding is a lot of the costs are kind of a percentage of the project, but it is worth looking into. I have no problems with that.
Sure.
With that being said, I've worked with engineering in the past. Number one, we give you a project, you give us a contract max, what it's going to cost, and then as you build, it keeps coming off of that, your current billing, budget remaining, and same when it comes to construction, so. And I get it, you're going to have a problem contractor, a problem in a job. We're here twice a month to bring it into us, so I just think we need a little more accountable for what we do, and every project I've worked on in my past, there's always been a project maximum, and you work off of that.
Yeah, we don't have a problem with that.
Okay,
Sure.
good, thank you.
Anything further?
Thank you, Darren.
Thank you very much.
Morning, James.
Morning, Commissioners. Morning. Okay, I'd like to start with 109th. We have received negotiation signatures from most of the businesses on this route. We just got another one in January. With help from the road department, we will move ahead with the remaining negotiations. We will schedule a meeting to review these plans with Superintendent Schwarzenberger and the road portfolio holders in the coming weeks, and we'll target a new bid date as talks and reviews are completed. On 27th Street, we have submitted an addendum to push the date of bid for this project to February 20th. We are scheduled to meet with the road department today for a final plan review in anticipation of submitting a second addendum with any further revisions. Okay, moving on to 82nd. The Corps has finished their review and issued the 404 permit. We will schedule a meeting to review these plans with Superintendent Schwarzenberger and the road portfolio holders in the coming weeks, and we'll target a new bid date as talks and reviews are completed. And on the north segment, We will be asking for a plan review with the road department, and we'll have a wetland footprint established for the 20th meeting. Then we will be asking for purchase of in lieu acres. This project includes a curve realignment. We will be asking for direction on easement standards where roadways diverge from section lines. Any questions on 82nd? Or anything?
I think we'll have them discussions after the meeting when we go through your plans and stuff.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, James. Jeremy, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
So I got a few things to, updates and a couple things to discuss. Stern project, which is a continuation of last year's project. Did the geotechnical boring and soil analysis, and we got 3 pages of a summary. Spare you the details, but what it had indicated is there was probably an older slide from years, maybe even hundreds of years ago, but it doesn't look like it's going to be too hard to mitigate. Essentially, subcut down 2 to 5 feet, which is kind of normal construction, and then build off that. So I think it was money well spent doing that boring, and it kind of demonstrated that there's no long-term stability issue. So now that we kind of crossed that hurdle, I think we can safely assume we'll be able to build on the section line with a little added cost, but not extravagant by any means. So we'll continue with our easement acquisition on that project. Next project, or potential project, I guess, is 98th Avenue and 4th Street Southwest. That was the mill and overlay and sliver widening project that we bid, I think, late last fall in the Dunn Center area. We rejected the one bid we got at the time because we thought it was well over the engineer's estimate and kind of inflated. Done a little bit of research and found that there's a project that is bid in middle of March through the DOT. It's from, I believe it's Highway 22 north of the Lost Bridge going north, kind of in your neck of the woods, Bob. The reason I bring that to your attention is that's potentially going to bring a paving contractor to the area. Assuming it gets bid and assuming they award it, there will be a paving contractor in the area, which there usually is, but that might be the best chance to kind of piggyback on if the county ever wanted to rebid that project. This might be one of your best chances. We're potentially obviously trying to save money, and we could rebid it whenever we want, but this might be the best chance to consider that in March or April to bid that project. Any questions on that?
To comment on that, Jeremy, I've had some conversations. The DOT does not have a lot of paving work out this year. I had conversations with Mayo. They figured they got the capacity to pave every job in the state of North Dakota, so I would think that there's probably going to be a good opportunity now with being there's hardly no paving. So I would think you got a set of plans. This is going to take much more to advertise for it.
Right. I mean, the plans are done. We'd have to just revise that we did, but it's ready to go to bid whenever the commission desires. And that I would kind of suggest March or April timeframe. Probably sooner the better is usually how it works.
Madam Chairman, Jeremy, have you heard anything about 200 going east?
Nothing in detail, although I heard there was a project scheduled for 25, but I heard it also got moved to 2026.
That's what I've heard, that it's been moved to 26.
I'd heard 25, but I hadn't heard 20, they moved it.
Yeah, and there might be more recent information, but the DOT has listed the projects, and we looked a whole year in advance, and there's nothing in this area on Highway 200. And I had kind of heard that they moved it to 26. So,
So wishes of the board to go ahead and put it out to bid?
I don't know, what do you think, Craig? I know,
I think may as well.
I mean, you got a set of plans. It's not like we got to reinvent the wheel. All you got to do is re-advertise it. And you'd be surprised where it might come in. Like I said, that's an issue. There's no pavement in the state this year.
sure.
I think
Okay.
that's the direction.
Okay, very good. We'll, I guess, submit our plans again just for one more final review within the commission. Okay? Next project I want to give a little bit of an update on is 105th Avenue. That's kind of in the southern part of the county. We're still working on the 404 permit, but I think we're fairly close on that project. I think that project has 34 parcels to acquire. We're down to just a single one parcel, which is actually the smallest parcel to acquire. So I think we'll come to an agreement, but as of right now, we're obviously holding off on bid opening until we acquire that last parcel, but hoping to get a meeting set up later this week, perhaps. If that's resolved, then we can go to bid on that project. And that was a 6-mile project, it looks like. So we're getting really close to going to bid on that project. Another project, and I guess we're jumping ahead a little bit, is actually a 2026 project that we've been working on in the last couple of months. It's on 119th Avenue and 22nd Street Southwest, which is kind of in the southwest part of the county, west of South Hart Road. There's about 10 parcels there. We have the survey done, the design done, the easements are obtained. We got to do a little coordination with the 404 permit, but we can probably bid that here in the next month or two. I'm not sure what I believe I know what the budget situation is, but if we can get a project that's intended for 26 construction, built in 2025, I think we've got the indication to go ahead and get all projects to bid, whether it's a 25 project or 26 project. So we'll proceed with the bid opening on that project in the next month or two.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
One last update on the construction side. 108M, which was done last year as a federal aid project or a state aid project. Those final documents have been submitted to the DOT. I guess Riley should take a lot of credit for that one. He's been working through all those documents, and all of our projects require final documents to be submitted for review. It's much different when there's federal aid, so we spend dozens of hours on that, so that's going to take a little more time, but we finally got through it. Riley's got through it. There might be a few more things to go through, but we've got that pretty much done, so I credit Riley on that one. Other things, we're working with the DOT on some flex funding, making sure that is secured. January and February are big months for us for easements. Yesterday I was in Bowman collecting an easement. We got a couple of meetings today for easements, 1 or 2 tomorrow, so we're kind of trying to get all these projects to bid, and we're down to 1 or 2 parcels on a few of these different projects, but it looks like it's going to be a busy season. We're going to get several projects to bid. It might not be as soon as what everyone would like, including us, but if we can get easements and core permits, we've got a lot of work lined up to get done this year. Any questions that or a project I might have missed that you guys might have an interest in?
Just to elaborate about the work being done, just for people's information, we bid a job in Stark County yesterday. We had 10 bidders. We've never had that many bidders on a project, so I think the bid prices are going to be good this year. There's a lot of contractors working out from Minnesota this way up in the mountain looking for work, so I hope we can expect some good numbers on projects.
Yeah, and just to kind of add on to that, and you had mentioned it earlier, Al, from all indications that I've seen, the DOT budget is going to be quite a bit less than what they've done in the last several years, and that excludes any inflation that they would have experienced, that we've all would have experienced. I may not know the numbers exactly, but I want to say the last couple of years, the DOT budget's been around 570 million. This year, I think it's closer to 400 or 450. So, and yesterday's bid opening kind of have had those same indications that there's going to be a lot of hungry contractors. So there'll be a lot of work out there, but it'll get done. No doubt about that. Okay,
Great.
thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Jeremy. Terry?
Morning.
Morning, Terry.
So I guess you guys have it on your agenda for the DOT occupancy.
Yes, it is. You want to go
If
ahead
we
with
could
that?
go ahead
Yeah,
with that right away.
sure.
So that'll include a destination light there at the southwest corner of Third Street and the bypass that goes around Kildare there.
Yep.
So we're working on permits with the state, and then once we get it going, that'll be the responsibility of the county to put the electric bill, and shouldn't be much more than the monthly service charge, basically, so.
Okay.
So I
So-
don't know if that's something you guys would like to pursue.
DOT would like, they're going to put a light out there is what it is, correct?
Correct, the
Yeah.
county will.
Yeah, okay.
Us as
But
the
we would
county.
be responsible for the cost, just
Right.
like we are in Manning here.
Correct.
So, just need a motion to approve the permit.
Madam Chairman, I move to approve the permit for the light.
Okay, there's a motion.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Weiser. Any discussion?
Madam Chairman.
Oh, go ahead.
Excuse me. I had some questions asked about putting a light on the other side of the road. There's no electricity there.
No.
They'd have to bore under the highway. But I know the school is very, kind of wants one up there so they can, on the other
That-
side.
That's what this is for, is. for the
Yeah, I
school.
know it is. And they kind of want one on the other side too, if they could. But
I guess
without
when I
electricity
talked-
being there,
When I talked with Mr. Simons, he was
This is what
happy
they
with
want.
this location. And I guess the only thing we're waiting on is the Battle Club was gonna look at the location, make sure it's okay. Other than that, we should be good to go then.
I had talked to Delvin Ducard, and they were happy with the location because it will only help,
Yeah,
their
it'll help
parking.
Both entities, yeah.
Yeah, but, so,
I'd mentioned to Terry that if anybody travels at nighttime, if we're specifically trying to light up the intersection for the school, them lights don't shine very far out, and I think they're that way for a reason. So I'm just, and Terry, we talked about it. Will it provide enough light across the road for that intersection? So just keep in mind, when you drive Highway 22 at nighttime, just look at the imprint that light puts out. It's not very far, so my concern was,
Be more of a marker like,
Yeah. will it cast, hopefully it'll cast across the road too.
well, this is what we have before us right now, so. If there is a need for another light, I guess that would be another permit down the road. So.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, we can see what this one does.
yeah, Yeah.
Needs to be added to, we can address it then.
Do they make these streetlights with solar powered ones to where you don't need the electricity there? Because I have the one on the corner of Highway 8 and 200 there. I see solar panels in a box off the edge of that.
Yep, some they do. Mackenzie Electric is actually gonna install the pole, supply it and install it.
Okay,
And there's minimal amount of wire that actually has to be run to it, so.
okay. Yeah, I just didn't know if you're looking at the other side of the road or whatever, if there's no power there rather than boring. If you look at the solar option or something, then there's no power bill every month either. One-time cost or closer to it.
Matt,
Matt has.
go ahead.
So, just to clarify, so the application that you're would be putting in is for a destination light. So, to Al's point, it's not gonna necessarily, light up the whole intersection. That's not the intention of a destination light. So the intention of a destination light is to identify that there's, an intersection there that you're coming up to, not necessarily provide lighting for the whole thing. So, if you're thinking of, you're gonna light up the whole intersection, that's not really what a destination light's gonna do. And from the DOT's perspective, you can only put one light in at a destination light for that. If the county wants to do more than that and you wanna light up the whole intersection, that's a different process.
Okay.
So just to be aware that, what you're getting is what Al's talking about. It's not gonna be that luminous. It's mostly to indicate when you're traveling, hey, that's where that intersection is as you're coming up to it.
Okay.
I hope that clarifies
Yeah,
what.
yeah, thank you for that. Thanks, Matt. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor of approving the permit, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Okay, we'll get that signed and sent off. Right, let's see, Sarah's not here.
Terry's still on there.
Oh,
Yeah,
Terry, I'm sorry.
Tilly.
Go ahead. Didn't mean to dismiss you so soon.
And then I guess something for consideration, we have up there, we've been looking at possibly putting a chain link fence up around the county shop yard there in Kilder. So if that's something you guys would like to entertain, I guess with all the equipment and everything we have outside, it would probably be a wise idea.
I would support that because, the county's got a lot of equipment and somebody could just come in the middle of the night and be mischievous and I think it's just to protect our assets would be well worth it. And I know in conversations, we're talking about moving all of our fencing materials to one location and that's where they would be stored. So it would be just much safer for everything that's there.
So, next meeting, we have bids for, fencing, that type of thing. Or have you looked into any yet for cost?
Yeah, I've got a couple of quotes and
Okay.
I guess it'd probably be, I think the lower quote was around 132,000.
Okay.
My question to Terry is at that dollar amount, does that require bid? Or is it fall under a threshold that I'm not aware of? I think my suggestion would, Terry could find that out and,
Yeah.
I think if it's under 200,000, it should be.
I know there's a difference between building and other things, so we want to be sure. So I would, suggest, as Al said, to go ahead and check that out.
Okay, we'll look into that.
whether it has to be advertised, then that's another
Right.
process.
Yeah.
And one more thing, as long as you're on, we're kind of looking at a cold storage building for all them fencing supplies. And maybe some other stuff that they need to probably get in out of the weather. So it's just
Okay.
something that's gonna be coming up probably.
Okay. Good enough.
Okay, and then I guess after that, we got 2 utility permits. The first one's on 109th Avenue. That's for an electric crossing for McKenzie Electric. And we sent that to the engineers because there is a road project going through there and they're aware of the cuts that need to be done, so that one should be good to go. And then we also have one from Dean Dvorak for a water line crossing. He's putting Southwest Water on the other side of the road on 26th Street. And I guess we recommend approval for both.
And Chair, move to approve both crossing permits.
There's a motion to approve the crossing permits. Is there a
Second.
Second. Motion by Commissioner Heiser, second by Commissioner Pelton. Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Have anything else, Terry?
Nothing else, unless you guys have any other questions?
Fencing and the easements. Department.
I think we'll just, come up with a recommendation. I don't know, that's your thoughts, Craig?
Yep.
After we kind of hash it out a little more, then we'll have something more solid to work off of.
Okay, thank you, Terry. All right. Sandy in here yet? Do you want to take care of that quick, and then take a break? Okay, sounds good. Just real quick here, the commission meal for the fair, June 28th in Killdeer. We have, the last several years, have provided a meal on Saturday night of the fair. And so that's on the agenda to seek approval to go ahead and provide the meal again.
I'll make a motion, we go ahead and
Okay.
do the meal on the fair on the 28th.
Motion by Commissioner Kleeman to approve the commissioner meal for June 28th of the Dunn County Fair. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Second by Commissioner Olson. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Got that taken care of. Yep. Okay, Sandy, thanks for coming early.
Who has to do dishes? New guys?
Commissioners. All right, Sandy, thank
Good
you.
morning, County Commissioners. I have a couple things this morning. Vision West ND will be holding their meeting here March 20th at the courthouse. We will be doing, we'll have some speakers. We're also going to be doing a tour of the Coliseum of Ben Murphy's that day, and we'll be serving lunch. So I'm here to request that the county would provide the lunch for Vision West ND's March 20th meeting. And you will all be, I'll send you invitations. You'll be all welcome to come to that meeting.
Is there a motion
I'll
to,
make a motion to, get the meal taken care of.
motion by Commissioner Heiser,
Second.
second by Commissioner Olson to cover the cost of the meal for the Vision West ND meeting here in Manning on March 20th.
Yes.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you. The second thing is, I don't know, some of you, your new commissioners, back last year, Amazon put in a facility right on the Dunn County, Stark County border in one of the buildings. It's right south of the Big Bends. Anyway, I received an email from Jason. He was the gentleman from Amazon that I worked with on the project. They will be having a ribbon cutting ceremony on February 18th. The time is going to be somewhere between 7:30 and 10 o'clock, and they have invited 10 of us to join them. So I've already talked to Tracy. I think they will probably want Tracy as the chair of the commission to say a few words. But if you would like to attend, I do need a list of who will be there that day. They need a list to for the ribbon cutting ceremony. So they'll have a welcome to the site, ribbon cutting, photo opportunities. The media will be there, and a site tour, and then they'll probably be interviewing maybe Tracy or a couple people. But I think it's important that Dunn County be represented at the ribbon cutting ceremony on February 18th. So if you could let me know by the end of the week, I'd really appreciate it, because I do have to get the names to them, and then I will also send you a reminder that those that want to come.
All right. Any questions? Okay, thank you, Sandy.
Thank you.
I think we'll take our 10-minute break before we get on with the Housing Authority.
Times are
Thank you.
Bismarck that day.
Huh?
Times are Bismarck, that's not.
I think it's Housing Authority. I know we're a little bit ahead of schedule. That you're expecting?
Yeah, we got it, yes.
Okay. We can go ahead then and.
What's that?
Is
David Twist.
he right out there?
I don't know. Hey, you might be a busy pinochle head across the street.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I guess get you,
Good morning, Commissioners.
if you would like to introduce yourself, so.
I'm Tori Lazarenko.
Amanda Bangert.
Kevin Carvenin.
Lena Carvenin.
Yep, thank you. Okay, I guess, yeah, go ahead.
Well, good morning, and thank you for taking the time to meet with us today. Today we are here representing the Dunn County Housing Authority, and we are requesting for the payoff of the remainder of our loan on the townhomes in Bruce Street across from the Lions Park. The way that our loan was set up, we have a balloon payment coming out in March of 2026 to the total of $461,717.78. This does not include the interest, which would be about another $24,000. March of 2026, we would not have the money to be able to pay this off. At this time, we would have to refinance. Right now, we're sitting at a 4.75 interest rate, and we all know that today that's probably going to double. With us refinancing, this would not be good for our community. I feel like it would also go in the opposite way of which we're trying to go. We have a big housing problem here in Killdeer, and with us refinancing this loan, the payment is going to increase, which would substantially increase the renter's rent as well. If we would have to sell, we have 8 families located in these townhomes, and this would displace them. This property is very stable. We have been full, and we have a waiting list as well. Right now, with our 8 units, we charge $825 a month in rent, which comes out to $6,600, and our monthly payment is $4,470.32. So after that, we would come out with $2,130. This doesn't leave us a lot of money each month to take care of this property. For renters, we take care of snow removal during the winter, as well as in the summer. We take care of all of the lawn mowing. As appliances are going down in the apartments, we also are there to take care of all of that as well. Let's see. Dane Larson got us an estimated assessed value of this property, which is $1.1 million. He says roughly $130,000 per unit and $75,000 in land value. The current rent is $825, and we're trying to increase that. We're thinking of going up $25 July 1st. We would allow all of our tenants to be knowledge of that. We would let them know as well. And then I think we're going to try to increase to $900 overall. And we have not set if we're doing a 6-month increase of $25 until we reach that $900, or if it's going to be yearly. We have not decided on that. Do you have anything?
All the attachments here in the blue payment email here, to your second page. This is also to Lena. There's $461,717.78 balloon payment on the 3/126. This loan was set up to be worked in here, but it is a 30-year amortization on a 20-year balloon. It was set up that way because the Housing Authority's goal is to sell this project to the private sector at some time in the first 20 years, freeing them up to take up a new project. And the third page is the last, what do you got, 5 months? This is all loan payments that we did for the last, 1, 2, 3, it'll be 5 the last 5 months, but it shows our principal and interest. 447032 is total. And then, well, we got cash on hand. It's in our checking, it's 81,519.56. Security deposit and savings is 12,483.51. Remainder on the loan is 491,659.43. And then last page is our loan payoff statement. Would be, this is interest up to February 13th. So it's $494,043.79, and the interest rate to date is 2737.82. Any late charges are 100, so the final would be, net amount would be 496,881.61.
Any questions of the housing authority? So you're asking, right now for the balloon payment, not the,
This would be total, everything.
The 10-day payoff.
The 10-day payoff is at the end there.
okay, 491.
If we were to wait until March of 26 to take care of the balloon payment, we would be paying an extra 24,000 plus in interest.
So the amount is 491. Well, let's see,
Yeah, the balloon.
496, 881.61. Okay.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
Why do they have $100 late charge on the payoff one?
Yeah, I like
I
that.
don't know, I wondered that.
But on Wendy's interest there that we're paying now, 65.19. That comes over to a little over $2,000 a month, just going in on interest.
I guess my feelings on this are it would make sense to pay this off because, I mean, here we want our housing program, to take off, and I think this only makes sense to take care of it rather than to continue to pay the interest on it.
Yeah, then what we save can go for future projects, because I still want to do another fourplex. Work on that part of that, on the housing side of that.
Repairs and maintenance.
Yeah, repairs and maintenance are gonna go up,
Yeah.
that, so. But we'll have,
Madam Chairman, we sat for quite a while and I guess, 4 months ago? Sell it. Get rid of it and build a new one. I had my mind changed and Dave come in with the same idea and he had his mind changed because people that are in there are low income. They can't, we could raise our rents, but they'd walk out because they can't pay them. So we decided that we would try to get this paid off and keep it at low rent, but the housing authority is still running it with the option to build another one if,
Work our way towards that.
Right.
Do that.
And the thing about it is every month, if you see the monthly repairs that, I think everything's just about new now, isn't it?
it's getting there.
Air conditioners in the summertime, refrigerators, washers, dryers. Every month we got 2-3 of them. And we should have got rid of it about 2 years ago. But, so we come up with the idea, we come to the county and see if we get it paid off and keep the people that are in there and look at another project.
I'll move that we pay off their loan amount in the amount of $496,881.61. And we take that money out of Better Mineral Royalties money.
Okay, there's a motion on the table to pay off the total amount of 496, 881.61. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Commissioner Heiser. Okay, any further discussion?
I think it's a great idea. If we want people to come and stay in our community, this is a place we can start. If we want to, bring on more housing, this would be an opportunity to maybe start another project, because I think our end goal with this whole process is to get people to move here and stay here and live here, so.
Any further discussion? If not, roll call vote.
Commissioner Heiser,
Yes.
Commissioner Olson,
Yes.
Commissioner Pelton, Commissioner Kleeman,
Yes.
Commissioner Dolzall.
Yes. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your work.
Just real
Appreciate
quick,
it.
just real quick, while we are here in person, we do want to thank you graciously for the money that you did give us to start developing homes here in Killdeer. That is a project that we are concentrating on, and in the future, we're going to be building more homes that we allow Section 8 in as well. So, thank you.
Thank you.
One correction, that's
Appreciate it.
homes in Dunn County.
Or Dunn County, sorry, not Killdeer. I'm sorry, a little nervous. Dunn County, I'm sorry. Dunn County.
Thank you, guys.
I think
Correction. Thanks a lot.
Sarah here? Hear from Sarah. Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. How are you today?
Doing good.
So the first thing on my list is just to rescind the burn restriction. State requires us to take care of that, and I have talked to the fire chiefs for the two main fire departments in Dunn County. So we would then come back before you if we thought that we needed to have another burn restriction in place. There is still the requirement, if anyone has a controlled burn, that they need to call it in.
Yep.
So that is always there, doesn't have to have a restriction on, just need to let somebody know.
So this would take off the requirement to check the fire index.
Correct.
Right.
Madam Chairman, I move to remove the burn ban.
Okay. There's a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Olson. Okay, any further discussion on removing the burn ban?
Madam Chairman. Sarah,
Yes,
would it be easier just to leave it on?
we
So you
can't,
don't- We can't?
no.
Oh, okay. Because I do know if it was on, they would know to call all the time.
Right,
Because now you're gonna have this in the spring when we put it back on.
well, it depends if we need it.
I mean, it's getting better, 'cause people
Yes.
know we got it, but I know we've had trouble with it before.
Cross that bridge.
Yep. Okay, any further discussion? If not, all in favor of removing the burn ban, signify by saying aye. Aye, opposed, motion carries.
Then I was just
Sarah?
gonna do a little synopsis of stuff I've been working on. Our LEPC is gonna be doing ICS 100, 200 training in March. Anyone is welcome to take that. It's a preparation course on how to, deal with a hierarchy when there's a emergency response. We do have the flood outlook meetings that'll be starting this month. I'm gonna be going to G318 Local Mitigation Planning Workshop in Bismarck next week, which leads into the multi-hazard mitigation plan. That was added as a line item in my budget to help pay for that for this year. SRF Consulting is our consulting firm and we've had our kickoff meeting in January. That's a 4-county multi-hazard mitigation plan. I've been working on the stakeholder list, so you guys are all included in that, and you may be getting emails. There's also people in the back too that would be included. I'm getting a stakeholder list of all the community commissions, and then fire departments, CMS, LEPC. And then we just recently had the pipeline safety meeting that was held last week. So those are some of the things I'm working on.
Okay,
Any questions?
I guess not. Thank you, Sarah.
Have you signed this, Tracy?
Yep.
Did you have something, Craig?
Nope, just a thanks.
Ma'am, go.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay, let's do the JNS Investments liquor license.
Okay, so we have a yearly beer and liquor license for JNS Investments, which is up at the McKinsey Bay Marina.
We have received the funds and everything looks good on the application, so we just need that approved so we can get their certificate mailed out to them.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Kleeman, seconded by Commissioner Pelton to approve J&S Investments beer and liquor license. Any discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Okay. Survey of Public Safety Center land. Would that be?
Yeah.
Craig?
You wanna go over it, or?
We need to get on the property we're buying, we need to get a survey done. I think, James did the original survey on it, so.
Yeah, just so we can get our, purchase agreement all figured out, so the legal descriptions are right and everything's surveyed off.
So,
we need to, I suppose we need a motion to,
survey.
does it need to be surveyed again?
yep, because it was never recorded.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it was surveyed and pinned and just never recorded, right?
Yeah, go ahead, James.
I didn't survey it, Bob Prosiv did,
Yeah.
but, yeah, it was too long ago for us to actually record the plat that was drawn. It passed the statute of limitations. It was done, geez, I think 2011, did I say? Or so we would have to resurvey it and plat it for you and record it.
I move we go ahead and get that land surveyed for the public safety center.
There's a motion to go ahead and survey it for the Public Safety Center. Is there a second?
I'll second. Are you
Second.
gonna have the interstate redoes it in your motion?
You good? You good?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, we can add that. Interstate can redo the survey.
Okay. Okay, any further discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, motion carries. Thank you, James. Auditor Office Portfolio Report.
Okay, I just wanted to give you guys an update on what we've been working on last year, what we're working on this year. We are working with the state. They're going to have a new election software called Total Vote. And we are part of the 5 counties that are helping them develop that and work on it and do all of the testing. So that'll be going on throughout the year. That's really good for the county because we'll just be that much more involved and know that software better. A lot of really good changes coming on with that. Currently, we're also working with the tax director's office. We have our new TaxWise software, which is what we use for the assessments, for the billing. Total game changer. That is a very nice system. We had our first class yesterday. We'll have another one tomorrow. So much easier to work in, and it's easier to maneuver around so that we can explain things that are going on. So really good software that we're doing there. I am part of the legislative committee this year for the auditors and treasurers. So kind of keeping up on things that will affect the county. Writing testimonies on some bills, things like that. So it's been a very good learning experience. Really good thing for the county as well. We are finishing up on the Tyler financial software. We did switch that over, so we had a good first year with that. And we are almost finished with our ClearGov software. That is the financial software where people can get onto the website and look at what we budgeted, what we spent, that kind of thing. We're having a little bit of difficulties getting that set up, but we're almost there. Probably within a week, we'll have that up and ready to go. I'd like to give a shout out to Janet and Jenny and Sarah. They're a great group of people, and they're doing really good in our department. So.
Thank you, Sally. Anybody have any questions with Sally's report? Okay. If not, why don't we go ahead and look at the, as long as you're warmed up, year-end reports.
Okay.
And amendments.
So I gave you guys all a packet of the year-end reports for the end of 2024. I guess we can just start with the fund balances. So the general fund balance as of December 31st, 2024 was $51,620,314.64. That had a lot to do with the oil and gas money that we got last year. We got a lot more in revenue, so that was great. Special road chips, that's what we are combining this year with the road and bridge. That's the fund that we used to pay the road workers out of. We can no longer use that fund per the state, so we're just kind of dissolving that into the regular road and bridge fund. So combined with them, roughly we have about 48 million that we have with those two accounts for the ending balance. Senior citizens account was $126,656. Southwest Corrections, we have $581,246 left. County Park Fund is $111,210. Emergency Fund hasn't changed, still $149,602. Veteran Services are sitting at 56,000, sorry. County Agent is sitting at 291,000. Weed Control, $347,310. Emergency Management is sitting at roughly 48,000. Capital Projects, we are at $23,293,516. The Building Fund is sitting at roughly 74,000, and the E911 is at negative 79,000, but that is because one of the payments hasn't crossed over yet. So that is the ending balances, fund balances. Do you guys have any questions? Okay, so the next one we will go through, these are, I'm sorry, I didn't bring my glasses. These are the expenditures for the end of 2024. And I won't kind of go through all of the general fund. The general fund, we ended, our expenditures are 98% is what we're at, so we're under budget there. We are under budget on the road fund, the correctional center, the county park. We're a little bit over in VSO, county agent, and weed control, and building. I'll explain those when we get to the amendments. So we are actually under our budget of roughly 41 million, and that had quite a bit to do with the road projects that we didn't get done. So we're under budget. Do you guys have any questions as you look through that? Just let me know. If not, we'll move on to the revenue. So we did really good on our revenue, and this also had to do with oil and gas, but we are over in revenue almost $25 million. So we did really good. We were over in little bit in the federal mineral royalties. We were also over a little bit in the oil and gas production, and also the interest, because the interest was so, it fluctuated so much and went up and down. So we really did good on our interest last year too. So overall, 2024 ended off really well with expenditures and revenue. Let you guys take a look at those for a minute, and then if you have any questions, just let me know.
So it looks like our revenue is 24.8 million over what we projected we would get.
Yep.
And I guess basically that's because we never really know where oil is going to be. We budget in July. And, you know, that's by the time we end the next year, a lot can change. It's good.
So if you guys don't have any questions, I'll move on to the amendments. So the VSO, we were over 2,600 in the VSO, but that was due to, I don't know if you guys remember when Desi came in, the federal salary standard was off, and so we had to bring that up. The county agent is off, and that was due to their phones doubled, their postage doubled, all of their dues doubled. They had some supplies that I know that the county, in a couple of our meetings, they came and asked for some travel funds and supply funds for some of their projects and things that they were doing. So that's why that one is over. Weed control, that was overdue to the grasshopper, the chemicals that we bought. And the building fund was overdue to the, when we rekeyed all of the buildings and the fuel island and that card system. So that's why that one is over. So I would just ask approval for amendments for those 4 departments.
I make a motion to approve, to amend the budget.
Okay. There's a motion by Commissioner Heiser to approve the amendments as presented by Sally. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Commissioner Olson. Okay, any discussion? Any discussion? If not, do a roll call vote.
Commissioner Heiser?
Yes.
Commissioner Olson?
Yes.
Commissioner Pelton? Commissioner Kleeman?
Yes.
Commissioner Dolzall?
Yes. Motion carries. Thank you, Sally. And I guess I would add, if, by the time anyone gets a chance to look things over closely, I'm sure you'd be willing to. Thank you. So the unfinished business fencing and easements, you guys are going to work on that?
Yes.
Yep. Okay. So let's take a look at the vouchers. Sarah sent us a list of the bills out. Sally, if you'd like to explain the ABM billing bills that we received.
So if you guys look on our list of bills, it'll have ABM back from September. ABM was supposed to be sending our invoices to a centralized accounting email address, but they were going to one of our employees, and she no longer works here. So, and ABM never sent us a late note, so if that's why there's so many ABMs on here back from September. They did not charge us late fees after they figured out what had happened, so that has since been fixed and we're moving on. So if you have any questions about that as well, just let me know.
So these are all for copy machines?
Yes, copy machines and printers.
So Craig, go
I
ahead.
have some questions on a couple of these bills here. Maybe Terry can help me out. Excuse me, with the Kinsey Electric, $199,000, and there's a $957,000 bill for Rough Red Electric. My question is, we agreeing to switch it from overhead to underground? I'm not quite sure how this all comes about, but that's quite a bit of, if there is a existing overhead line, do we get credit for that? Are they plowing them underground, or, how many projects is this here? I guess maybe what I should have done is they had the bill pulled out, but I'm just kind of curious because it's,
But usually if we got a road project and whether we're responsible for moving the line or they are, sometimes we are. It depends on where the line's at.
Sally's pulling out the
so
voucher.
do they meet ahead like in a pre-construction and say, hey, your line's in the way and this is what we're going to do, it's overhead, we're going to put it underground, it's going to roughly cost you X amount? I'm just curious because that's all over $1 million. So I think they like it when it's underground, but
Rough Riders go into a lot of underground. I don't think Mackenzie's doing so much.
But my question is, did they have any cost in it? Are we moving the whole line? Are they crediting anything? Or I mean, like for an overhead to underground, this is what it costs? I'm just asking the question because it's pretty sizable, about a bunch of money. So I don't know if,
Isn't it usually, kind of per pole? I mean, there's a cost per pole that
Yeah.
it figures into it.
Southwest. 27th Street.
Several projects are involved.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Looks like there's a lot of projects there.
Four different projects in there.
Okay.
Yeah, if that line's out of our right of way, it needs to be moved, we're responsible.
Okay. Come on, but
I move we pay the bills as presented.
Motion by Commissioner Olson to pay the bills as presented. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Pelton. Any further discussion? If not, roll call vote.
Commissioner Heiser?
yes,
Commissioner Olson?
Yes.
Commissioner Pelton?
Yes.
Commissioner Kleeman?
Yes.
Commissioner Dolzall?
Yes. Okay. That taken care of. I guess Peggy Hendricks asked to be on the agenda. Okay. Luann will get her. I guess while we're waiting, just something for your information. The city of Killdeer met on Monday night, and the Dunn County Roundup, which this board helped support for the food pantry, committed to $1 million for that project, $500,000 in '25 and $500,000 in '26. So they now have the funds to move forward with bidding. We've got about 90%, and they have several grants out there yet. And they are going to go to the city of Dunn Center because the food pantry does, and Killdeer does support the Dunn Center food pantry too. So just to let you guys know, that's what happened. Okay. Okay. Morning, Peggy.
Good morning.
Morning.
I'd like to thank you guys for taking the time to listen to me for what I have to say. This was not planned, and it was a very hard decision to make. So I am going to read what I have wrote. Okay. It's February 5th, 2025. With this letter, I am officially notifying Dunn County of my retirement immediately. This has not been an easy decision to make. I would like to thank you, Dunn County, for the opportunity to work here. I have started as a part-time
writing in the index books to full-time, then to deputy recorder. And here it is, 17 years later. The job has been great. I've enjoyed working with the people, and I am looking forward to having more time to spend with my family. Sincerely, Peggy. I do appreciate the time, and thank you. Working for the county has been a blessing. You guys have great benefits. It's been fun here. But there also comes a time when you have to make certain decisions and things affect it. And in my case, this happened a little bit sooner than I was planning.
Thank you for what you've done to help the county working in the recorder's office. Your work's appreciated. Thank you.
Yep, thanks for your time.
Thanks.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Peggy. Okay. The road superintendent position is on the agenda for 10:45. I think we should wait until that time, so we'll take a brief. Have I covered everything else? Have we covered everything else? I believe so. Yep. So, another 8 minutes, we'll deal with the road superintendent position. Thanks.
We'll discuss that.
What's that?
We'll discuss that.
road superintendent position. I guess, as you are aware and everyone's aware, Superintendent Lim was placed on administrative leave, I don't know the exact date, a few months ago, with pay. So I guess the question before us is, do we continue administrative leave with pay? Another option would to terminate the position of Mr. Lim or bring him back to work. Kind of our options before us, so.
Madam Chair, I make a motion to terminate David Lim's employment with Dunn County effective immediately.
There's a motion to terminate the position of David Lim.
I'll second it.
Effective immediately.
Second.
Motion is seconded by Commissioner Olson. Okay, any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? If not, roll call vote.
Commissioner Heiser?
Yes.
Commissioner Olson?
Yes.
Commissioner Pelton?
No.
Commissioner Kleeman?
Yes.
Commissioner Dolzall?
Yes. Motion carries. And I guess Mr. Lim would need to, any questions work with our HR as far as any paperwork. So, thank you. Okay, if not, any other thing to come before the commission?
Do we need to talk about advertising for road superintendent position then?
We will. I think maybe we can wait till the next commission meeting.
Okay, I'll put it on the
Commissioner
agenda for the next
Heiser,
one.
anyone, what are your thoughts?
I'd say we got a little time.
Sometime, okay.
Let's put that on the agenda for the next meeting. Okay. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Motion to adjourn by Commissioner Kleeman. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Commissioner Olson. Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, motion carries. Meeting adjourned, 10:47. Thank you, everyone.